All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Them on the Moon, and here we go. Captain's log, 100 million. Happy Sunday, how's it going? I turned off the fan, so I'm going to be sweating, just so you know. And you also might notice a butterfly flying around behind me because there's one in the house. And all these bugs in here, let's start off with this. All these bugs in here, I'm starting to I have to kill some of them. And I'm starting to have to kind of come up with a way to, which ones do I kill, which ones do I leave, so. Because it could be a lot. So I basically decided, if it's a fly, it's gonna die. If it's a bee, let it be. If it's a butterfly, let it flutter by. If it's a mosquito, hit it with a torpedo. If it's an unknown bug, sit back and observe. And if it's a spider, get a lighter. I just made that up right now. But anyways, yeah, so this brings me to the first thing I'm going to talk about, my first story here. Something has happened that I didn't like. It was a bad thing. I didn't want it to happen. I was afraid it was going to happen. I didn't like it at all. Of the things that happened that I don't like, this is among the highest of the order. Very uncomfortable, very bad. Didn't like it. Okay. Ooh, I'm going to bed. And the thing about going to bed is I'm usually at night, it gets dark, gets a little eerie. Last night I heard something in the bushes outside, like it sounded really big, and I was like, what was that? So I was kind of uneasy, and like all the lights in here are like weak lights. So when I go up to my room at night and I turn off all the lights and I turn on the light in my room, in my bathroom, it's like dark, right? Like I can't, it's like dim. I can't really see. It's not like full lights, right? So it's just kind of, I put on some happy music to try to feel good, but it's kind of a somber vibe. Anyways, I'm sweeping the floor a little bit with the little broom and just kind of cleaning it up. And I sweep by the bug net of my bed and I see near the headboard something go like that, go like that. And I thought, oh, is that a little lizard? But then I'm doing an instant replay in my head. I barely saw it, but it was big. And doing an instant replay in my head, and my reptilian brain, my deep subconscious knew that the way that thing moved was not a lizard. It didn't scurry as much as it crawled. And I was like, oh no, please, because I knew how big it was. And I said, please, oh God. And it literally just went right behind the headboard of the bed. And I went, oh. And the bed is like right next to the wall with a bug net. So I go over there and I start peeking behind. I see it. Big old boy, big old spider. Big old spider. Dude, the flashlight, I had to have my flashlight because I can't see shit because the lights are so dim. And my flashlight is reflecting in its eyes. Like I can see the glow of its eyes, and dude, it's freaking back there. Oh, right where my head is. Like literally right where my head is. And I just go, damn it. So I gather my wits about me and I decide the best course of action to take. The problem is the last spider, I hit him with the spray. The problem is the spray's running out and it doesn't have as much power. And so I'm like, it can't reach back there. And I also don't want to spray the shit out of my bed with bug killer chemical. So I think, I'm like, can I throw something back there? What can I do? Because I'm also thinking, dude, if he gets away, I gotta be decisive, because if he gets away, I'm not sleeping. If he crawls under the bed and I don't know where he went, not sleeping. So, cause dude, he's a big boy, dude, like dead ass legs out. We're talking this big, right? Not that big of a body, but when his legs are out and he's on the wall like that, and dude, fast, running so fast. I was just like, oh. Anyways, so I'm like, okay, what are we gonna do here? So, I don't know if you can hear the rooster. I got the noise suppressor. But anyways, what am I going to do here? So I get the spray, and I'm trying to move the bed, and it was too heavy. Big wooden bed. But then I'm like, fuck this. I just rip the bed and move it. So I get enough room from the bed between the bed and the wall. So I go over to the other side, because the spider's farther on the other side. I get the spray, and I just start moving in on dude. And here, I'll paint you a little picture right here. Here's a little picture of this guy after I killed him. And I know these pictures don't do it justice, but that's dead. It's after I killed him. Here he is on the wall. This is right before the attack. Okay. So that is big, dude. That is, we're talking like that big. Like, so that's not the vibe, dude. Ooh. So anyways, I spray him. He's running away. I'm spraying him. He tries to go behind the cabinet, spraying him. He's getting confused because I sprayed him. He runs back out. He's jumping around and freaking out. I'm spraying him. Ah. And it's always like, literally like a freaking, like I'm fully in the zone. Just like, bug, just trying to get him. So I get him. He dies. And I thank Jesus Christ. And I'm like, yes. So I get him and I put him in the bathroom and I'm looking. I decide to look at him a little closer and, oh, dude, I was just so uneasy, you know? It's like, it's whatever. It's a freaking spider. It's a bug. But that once they get that size, it's just like a little smaller of a one doesn't bother me that much. But just the fact that I'm sleeping and this dude was just by my head posted up, like, didn't like that feeling. So that wasn't good. Okay, anyways, that's the spider thing. And just pray for me that they learn their lesson. What's up, Jose? Greetings from Honduras. Thanks for being here. Pray for me that the spiders stay out of the house. I don't know if you can hear that rooster, but he's going crazy. Okay, anyways. Let's get into this post and the main story. So the main thing is that I think I made a new friend here. Not the spider. His name is Roger. He's a gecko. And usually he just hangs out behind the mirror in the bathroom and just peeks at me. And that's really all the time I see him. And then in the mornings and sometimes at night he yells and he makes a sound like kind of like that. Anyways, he really loud though, echoes through the house. And I just make it back to him and just say, hey Roger. And we've been cool. And he just, he kind of peeks out. And then if I go in there, he'll go back behind. But he's been chilling. Well, dude, recently, I don't know what's got into him, but he's been coming out. Like so the other night, I come downstairs. I went to bed and then I came back down to get my charger or something. And he is out and about out here. And I was like, oh, Roger. And look at this. So I'll show you. This is damn, got shocked. I keep getting shocked if I touch metal in my computer setup. Okay, so here we go. Let's see. So this is the first thing. So here he is. Oh, he banged against the glass. Watch this. I think he saw himself and he freaked out. Yeah. And then he climbs up here. So that's him. Roger. And then watch this little jump. Okay, and then so that's him. And then he climbs up the side and he's peeking at me like, look at this. Wait. Oh, so funny. And this is a higher quality video of him. Oh shit. Scared me, honestly. But here when he's walking, he seems kind of cute. He's like, oh, little guy. Seems like a happy little cute guy. He seems pretty nice. But the thing that's weird about him is he's really cute sometimes, and sometimes he looks scary. Like he'll peek at me from behind the thing in his eyes, and he looks like the devil, and he looks like he's gonna kill me. And I'm like, dude, why you look at me like that? And then I find him the other night above my bed, just hanging on the ceiling, just chilling up there. But when I went to go to sleep, I go out to go to sleep, and I look up, and he's just like chilling up there. I was like, oh my God. But I think he's chill. I don't think he's hostile. I think at this point we got a rapport because he's getting more ballsy and he's coming around. So far I haven't had a problem. So I think we're just going to kind of rock and roll with it, honestly. Call it good. Well, I'll report back. So another thing is I've been sleeping in. Usually I get up at 5. I now set my alarm for 6. And if I wake up before 6, I just get up, which I do a lot of times. But I let myself sleep till 6. One reason is it doesn't get bright till like 7. So if I get up at 5, I'm just in the dark like for all morning, which isn't the vibe. So I've been sleeping a little more to see how I feel. I think I do get a little more energy, honestly. I think it does make sense for me to do the extra hour of sleep. The other reason I'm doing that is because I'm like 5 days off Zins, and the nicotine withdrawals, like it's hard to get to sleep. I'm like so restless and like I want freaking nicotine so bad. And I found myself getting kind of frustrated and like depressed, and it's like I'll have these it's so funny. It's like my brain will start just telling me everything's bad. I'll just be like sitting there and it's like, you suck, you're a failure, you should be embarrassed of yourself, everyone hates you, you're gonna be alone forever, you're never gonna be successful, you freaking suck, you're lame, everyone thinks you're lame, and it's just like shit like that, and it's just it just go, and then I literally go, wait. It's like, because it happens subconsciously. So I'm like, oh, I suck. And then like, wait. And this is the key to one of the keys to my mental health is noticing that, because then I'll go, wait. I'll go, you just want nicotine, and then I'm like, yeah, I know, it's fine. You're fine. It's cool. Everything's good, dude. I'm like, oh yeah. And you're like, you just want nicotine. He's like, yeah, I know. I was just freaking, I'm like, God damn it. So it's like, and then I feel fine, and it's what it is. Noticing that is so big though, because back when I was younger, especially when I was like 20, that would drag me down sometimes for days. And so, yeah. This is my milk. I drink one of these per day. They're shelf stable, so you don't have to refrigerate it until you open it. So, but the refrigerator doesn't, well, it works here, but she doesn't plug it in. And I don't want to plug it in just for milk and like cost her a bunch of money. So, I just drink one per day, and with my one meal, and I just drink this, put some in my coffee and my tea, which we'll get to a little bit later. But anyways, yeah, so I'm sleeping, I'm off sins, and it's okay, I'm doing good. But anyways, yeah. Another thing I want to share, I'm reading the Bible, reading the freaking Bible. So let's go down here so I don't miss. But okay, there's a couple things here. Something's been happening with ChatGPT and me and my workflow that's changing my game, changing my life. And it's a couple different features. One is deep research. So I'm writing this little ebook for this marketing thing I'm doing for my blog and stuff. And I want to just basically put these small stories that are inspirational success stories. And so ChatGPT has this deep research feature. So you give it a task and it'll do research for like 20 minutes or 30 minutes, right? It just scours the internet, does all this reasoning, compiles all this stuff, and gives you like a report. Right? And it's amazing what it does. And think of when you're talking to ChatGPT, what it can do like this, right? When it's reasoning and thinking and researching for 30 minutes, it's amazing. So what I do is I started and I said, hey, I want to do these success stories in a book. I want you to research and find me these really cool success stories that have to do with this point, which is success, the way you'll succeed not being clear when you start, right? So a lot of people don't start because there's no clear path to success, but you have to start and get in there before you find it. So I explain that point and I say, I want stories that illustrate that are compelling. So it does all this research and it gives me all these crazy stories. So I'm like, damn. So I pick the ones I like. And then I say, okay, now do deep research on this specific story. Give me all the details, especially that are relevant to this point I'm trying to make in the book. And it'll do a big research. And then I do that for all those. And then the cool thing is it remembers all the research. So then when I go to write the story, I want to write it in my own words. And this whole time I'm talking to it. I plug in my headphones and I'm talking to the ChatGPT and it's talking to me. So I'll open up the first one, J.K. Rowling story. Rowling. And I'll just say, hey, can you just give me main bullet points of her story that are meaningful and that illustrate the points I want for this book? So it'll say, this happened, this happened, this happened. So I just start writing in my own words, like my style, like I do with my blog or everything I write, right? Because I want it to be personal and like my style and my kind of flair or whatever, the informality that I bring to it. So I do that. And as I'm going, I'm like, oh, what year was this again? Oh, who was that guy's name? What company was that? And it's just talking to me, right? It's just telling me everything I need to know, and it knows everything. And two, the cool thing is it can plug into my Notion, so it can see my Notion page where I'm writing. It can see the page. So I can say, hey, I'm stuck on this paragraph. How could I word this different? Or like, what do you think of this flow? And it'll say, oh, that's good. But if you put that paragraph here and maybe change this is unclear and you said this twice and blah, blah, blah. So it's like this iterative process as I'm working. Then it can see what I'm doing. It has all the research and all the information about my business and my goals and the whole marketing thing I'm doing and my everything it knows. And I can just talk to it. And it's amazing. Totally changes the game. I'm like, it's like having a freaking research team. Like, it's so cool. That's just like on call in your ear all the time. So that's been a game changer for me. And I use that in a bunch of different ways too, but that's the main one I've been using it for recently, is developing this kind of new email marketing thing that I'm going to do. And then the other thing is I use it when I read the Bible. So I've been reading the Bible cover to cover. I just finished basically the Torah. So those first 5 books of the Bible. And it's obviously confusing. And so what I do is on the iPad, ChatGPT can see your screen. So I put it on voice mode and I put it on screen sharing. And as I read, it just sits there and waits. anytime I have a question, I ask it. It can see exactly what I'm reading. It knows what I'm reading, and it knows all the other questions I've asked. So I can say, hey, so you know how back in like Exodus, you know, Joseph said this and that to God, and now God's saying this. Well, how does that make any sense or whatever? And it'll be like, well, back in the time, this meant this, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And like in the historical context, maybe they blah, blah. And it can just explain me shit, right? And it's gives me, and it'll give me different opinions. It'll give me all kinds of information. So it's this amazing resource to read with because it remembers everything. It just waits for you. It just, so a lot of times I'll read for like 10, 15 minutes and say nothing. And then all of a sudden, what does that word mean? Or like, what was that? Or what was this? Or like, what's the point of unleavened bread? Why is that a thing with the yeast? Like, who cares about the yeast? Why is it a thing? And blah, blah, blah. And like, you know, it just gives you so much context. It's so cool. The other thing I've been doing, which I'll have to share this in my other video, is I've been putting the descriptions of the tabernacle. It's like really specific. The priest's outfits, it's like you gotta have 7 jewels and you gotta have a sash with the yellow tassels and blah, 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 and 6 feet thing and with a cherubim and made of scarlet silk, and like very specific instructions for the tabernacle and the ark and the lamp stand and the sacrifices and everything. So I'm putting this into ChatGPT and be like, generate me a photorealistic representation of this that's biblically accurate, right? And so it'll like spit out these pictures of like, you know, Moses or whoever. It's just really, really cool. But I think I'm going to do a book review on the Torah, those first 5 books, talk all about it and share a lot of those pictures and stuff. So you could look forward to that. But anyway, so that's what I've been doing with ChatGPT, and it's really been amazing and a total game changer and very useful, and it's amazing. So that's really cool, and I would recommend trying that. Another thing I want to talk about, Bitcoin, baby. We're well over $100,000. We're shredding. I'm freaking over the moon. I love it. I believe in it. I think it's good. I think you should get it and believe in it too. But the thing that's interesting is last time I was in Bali, same thing. Bitcoin was down. And after I was in Bali for a little bit, it just shredded, right? And it just, I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. And I'm having the exact same experience here where I'm looking at it again. And I'm sitting in Bali, same thing. It's like weirdly similar. So maybe I'll have to keep going back to Bali every few months, but that's really fun. I love it. Back to the Bible thing. So I'm going to go way more into this in the video about it, but I've been having to figure out a way to read the Bible because it doesn't make so much sense, right? It's like, so everything doesn't make sense. Like, it's like, God's like, oh, I never changed my mind. And then like a few chapters later, it's like, God's like, I'm going to kill Israel. And then Moses is like, please don't kill Israel because they can follow you. And then he's like, okay, I'll change my mind. And then I'm like, well, you just said you didn't change your mind. And like, there's just that versions of that all the time, right? It's like, I could go forever, right, on how much it doesn't make sense. And like, you know, you just look at these verses of like, you know, interestingly, you can divorce. It's like, there's rules for divorce. It's like, dude, if dude gets a wife and she doesn't please him, he can divorce papers, right? Like, send her off. And there's all these rules about that. So anyways, it's not a good source for morality, really. It's like a good source for maybe some basic morality, but how you cherry pick it is hard. Anyways, this is the point, right? I could do this for hours. Like, it's just everything about it. I question. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. What is the point of this? Where does this come from? What is going on? What the hell? And so I've found a way to read it just for what it is. And it's through that kind of Jordan Peterson lens where it's like, this is a society. This is like robust society V1 figuring out how to do it, right? It's like these people figuring out how to freaking live and like how to have a robust society of 600,000 people and manage it. And then also have such a strong society that they can go conquer everyone, right? They can go into the promised land and just kill everyone and roast all the battles, right? So it's like, that's why I think a lot of the rituals and the punishments and all the standards are so strict, because it's like you have to freaking uphold this shit so that you can be a good society and go kill your enemies and like prosper. And it's like so against any other. It's like, kill all the idols, anyone who worships another god, freaking put to the sword. And like, because it has to protect against degradation. It's like, right, the society and the rules and the things that make it strong can be degraded easily. So it's like there's all these precautions about like cleanliness and like how you do shit. And so it makes sense. And reading it through that lens, I get a lot more from it. So I think the video I'm going to do is going to be through that lens of like, what are the what are the things that the sacrifices are for? There's so much about sacrifice for this, if you do that, for this purpose, these festivals, these are the sacrifices, and it's all specific. 12 oxen, you got to put the blood on the thing, and then you got to cut his throat, and you got to spill the blood on the ground, and then you got to put some on your tunic, and then you got to do this, and you got to turn around 3 times and do the hokey pokey, and then you got to go woo, and then you're good. So it's like, this is what they're all like. But I want to understand the things they're sacrificing for: peace, sin, these festivals and days of remembrance, and the Sabbath and stuff like that, right? So like, what are so important and beneficial about these things, about peace offerings? What do you get from it, right? What do you get from sin offerings? What's the psychology, etc.? So I'm going to approach it from that way. And so I'm going to do my own little experiment, which is at my own Sabbath. So I'm thinking I'll do it on Monday. And because the Sabbath is a big thing. If you work on the Sabbath in the Torah, dead, put to death. They found a dude gathering wood on the Sabbath, took him out, stoned. You're done. So big deal, right? And so anyways, I want to do my own and see what it's like. The problem is I'm talking to ChatGPT, being like, hey, what can my Sabbath be like? Because the problem is my work is my leisure. So the shit I do, if I'm reading to learn for my business, right? Or like to be smarter, right? And if I'm, my hanging out and chilling was playing guitar, but like, that's my business, right? It's like, so trying to figure out what do I do to get the intended benefit of a Sabbath. So I think what I'm going to do is not work out and not do any business stuff I don't want to do, right? I think I'm going to do just a music Sabbath, honestly. I think what I'm going to do is just no freaking anything, no working out, no YouTube, no freaking anything, no work, nothing, just vibing and playing music, and no music work, no freaking bouncing stems and cutting things, just having fun, whatever I want to freaking do, who cares? And I think I'm going to do that every Monday and just see how it goes. We'll see. But anyways, that's that. Okay, this is cool. Where I'm going next. My future travel plans. Okay, so I've showed you guys where I'm going in my next trip. So once I leave here, I go to Hanoi, Vietnam. But after that, I'm going to go to Jakarta. I just booked my place. So I'll show you my place. And I'm going to go there because I've been talking to a video photo studio there. This young guy named Ryan. And he has this cool production company. And I had a FaceTime call with him about doing a video. And we really got along well. And I just was like, I would love to work with this guy. And he saw my work and he was stoked. And he's like, dude, the VFX and stuff is so sick. Like, we should totally work together. And basically offered to do it for free to make something cool. So I was like, okay, this is dope. Let me hang with this. Let me work with this guy. So I'm going to do a month in Jakarta. Let's show you my spot. Here we go. So this is the place I got. I was between a few different places, but this one is $500 a month, right? No utilities. So I'm looking at this desk setup and I'm like, okay, this will work for me, right? This is a good enough setup. I'll be able to work comfortably from here. It's a good vibe in here. It's got the inlet lighting like I like. It's got the extended high ceiling, right? Which is what I like. It's just a cool, good vibe. It just is going to work for me. Like, I like this little reading nook by the window that has great reviews, nice bathroom, right? Has a really cool facility. So this is the pool. This is the gym. Has full-on big-ass workout areas and all the weights you need and everything. It's a really cool building too. But yeah, so this is the space. And that's in Eastern-ish Jakarta. So I'm going there for a month after. Let me see if I can find. This is the building. It's pretty cool, actually. The Smith Jakarta apartment. So, anyways, yeah. And then I think after that, I'm gonna either go back to Bangkok or I'm gonna go to. Yeah. So this is the apartment. So like pretty cool building, right? So pool area right there. And I don't know if there's a rooftop area. I feel like there maybe isn't. I think it's half office space though. So it's office space, maybe at the top or the bottom, but pretty cool facility. And so I'm pretty excited to go. The thing is that it's unfortunately worse air quality than Bangkok. So I was like, I asked the lady, she's like, I'll get you an air purifier. I was like, thank you. So that's good. That's where I'm going next. And then, like I said, I think I'm going to hit Malaysia after that, or maybe just go back to Bangkok and then go back to Spokane for the holidays, see the fam. And I just got some stuff to take care of in the States. And then I don't know where. Maybe I want to freaking go to Japan or China. Maybe I'll go for US, China. That'd be sick. I'll figure it out. Anyways, So that's that. Okay. Last little story I got for you before we hit the photo dump is, dude, last night. So I'm shook from this spider incident. I go to bed. I get woken up at about 2 or 3. The lightning storm of my life, dude. I couldn't freaking believe it. The house was literally shaking, like the lightning, because I'm like, if there's like the volcano, right? I'm like up halfway up the volcano, so I'm like in the storm, and the lightning, it's like no lag, right? So it's just bam, like no, it's not like you get the flash and then the thunder. No, it's just boom, hitting all outside the house. The house is shaking, bro. The thunder, like, bro, I'll be honest with you because I don't want to seem like a pussy, but I'll be honest with you. Because it woke me up too, and it was so loud and surprising, like my heart, like it kind of triggered the earthquake PTSD, because I'm telling you, the house rumbled, like, and it sounded like the mountain was crumbling down, and like the echoes of it and how loud it was just like the most epic freaking thing. And it was just relentless, just, ah, and I'm like, ah. And I was just literally like, it was a mix of fear, like, so I'm scared, right? My heart's pounding, I'm scared, but also like exhilarated, and like, I know I'm safe, but I'm also like half awake. So I just woke up, I'm like, what's happening? It's like, I'm like, whoa. And it was just exhilarating. I've never experienced anything like it. It goes back to the Bible thing, right? When like Moses is on Mount Sinai and there's the clouds and the thunder and everything. And I just imagine a tribal person like back in the day experiencing that, dude. They're just in their hut up on the mountain and that shit's happening. They're just like, oh my God, like, what did we do? Like, it's so epic. And I've seen some crazy lightning storms, but I've never been like in one like that. And it was just unbelievable. And I have this funny video. I don't know how the audio is going to be. It's obviously dark at first, but you can hear it scare me because it's instant sound and just so freaking loud, dude. I think it just totally clipped the speakers of the phone. It's so loud. This is me trying to film it. Hold on. Okay, ready? Oh! Holy shit. Oh my God. So the echo too. Oh! Dude, it sounds like a shotgun. Holy shit. Oh my God. Yeah, so that was like all night. You know, that was for, or not all night, but that was for a couple hours. Like, I couldn't sleep. Dude. Scared me, dude. Holy shit. It like startled me, you know. I'm like, oh. And I just really crapped my pants. So that was amazing. Cool, but I didn't sleep that good, so that sucked. Okay, and then the last thing before I get into the photo dump is, oh, there's a mosquito torpedo. Hold on one sec. I do not have any patience for the mosquitoes because they get me. What you got? You got away, damn it. Ah. Anyways, you can see the butterfly right here. Oh wait. Oh, he's right on the edge of the frame. Turn it. There he is, right there. If you look at the very edge, how do I? Wait. There. There he is. Okay, anyways. Okay, sorry. Anyways, yeah, so update on being alone. It's weird because I'm trying to like take inventory of how I'm doing. Like, am I chilling? Am I freaking out? And it's the weird thing is, honestly, like, I can't really tell. It's like you, to a certain degree, I think, need people around you to like mirror and like bounce off of to like be a person. So when no one's here, it's like I'm not a person. I'm just like floating around weirdly. And it's like, I don't know if it's good or bad. I do feel like I kind of, it's like my ability to maybe make decisions and plan and like have a reasonable model of the world goes away to a certain degree because I just like, what's real? I'm just like in this bubble. So I don't really know, but I wouldn't say I'm unhappy, but maybe, I don't know. That's the thing. It's like, I'm floating. It's just weird. It's just freaking weird. I don't really know. I don't hate it, but it's exploratory and it's like interesting. And I honestly feel like what would happen if because I still FaceTime my family or text my friends or, you know, do some stuff, interact with some people. But I wonder what it would be like a month, literally nothing. no contact, right? No texting, no calling, no people, no cleaner, no anything, right? It's like people drop off the food, you don't see them, you go out and get it after. Part of me wants to try it and just see what happens, just to, I know some people do that, and it's people, there's like, you could be in solitary in prison or who knows, but I know monks go in the mountain and whatever. But anyways, that's the update on that. Not really sure what, but let's go for the update here. New from me, new video. I have high hopes for this. It's pretty interesting. It's everything I own in one video basically, and it's my entire travel setup. So you can watch that. It's about an hour, but it's and then it comes with a blog post and everything's linked. So every single item that I talk about on there is linked in this blog post. That some of them I couldn't find links, but okay, what I'm wondering about. We had a very we had a curious week, baby. We won't do all these, but what's the longest I can stay in Bangkok on a tourist e-visa? It's 90 days. It's a 60-day with an extension. How is the air quality in Jakarta? How is the air quality in Jakarta compared to BKK? Way worse. Let's see exactly how much worse it is. It's pretty freaking bad. Sucks. So AQI 75 to 87. So Bangkok is 63 to 74. Parts per million 2.5 is 22 to 28. And Bangkok is 16 to 21. Parts per million 10 is 30 to 50. And Bangkok is 28 to 39. So it's pretty bad, honestly, like compared to Bangkok. And Bangkok, like I struggled while I was there. I was like, this is not what I like. So anyways, what's the health profile on chia seeds? I've been getting like chia seed pudding, and it's apparently really good. Apparently there's a lot of protein. They're bangers. So who knows if that's true, but that's what this says. Is it normal to have trouble sleeping due to nicotine withdrawals? Turns out it is, and I'm experiencing it firsthand. Is Jake Tapper gay? Apparently he's married to a woman. I always thought Jake Tapper was a gay dude. I know like Anderson Cooper is, and maybe there's another CNN guy that's gay. I always thought Jake Tapper was gay. He's not. He's married. He's married to a woman. He's not gay. It's just it was a myth. Is putting milk in Earl Grey tea crazy? No, it's not. Apparently people do scrutinize it, but a lot of people also do it, and it can be common. So I've been doing it. It's freaking good. I've been drinking a lot of milk. So is Arkansas as inbred as Pakistan? I posted a short about the last week's one where Pakistan is like significantly inbred to an alarming degree. And this guy commented, he said, oh, it's like Arkansas in the US. So I was like looking into it. Is it actually Arkansas pretty inbred? And it's really not. It's got, it's like got like 2% instance of like inter-family cousin marriage. And like Pakistan's like 50% in a lot of regions. So it's not even close. What is parsimony? Parsimony is making things simple or boiling them down. Parsimony refers, in science or philosophy, beyond its financial meaning, parsimony is a foundational principle in science and philosophy, often called the law of parsimony or Occam's razor. This principle states that when presented with competing explanations of the same phenomenon, the simplest explanation requiring the fewest assumptions or variables is preferred. So it's just Occam's razor, basically. Is a hyena more of a cat or a dog? Guess what you think. I would think a dog, but it's a cat. It's more of a cat, much more of a cat. And then if you really want to go deep, here we go. How many different kinds of ants are there? Guess this. I was surprised. Because there's a lot of different ants around here. So I'm like, how many kinds are there? Bro. 13,800 species of ants. Holy shit. Man, that's amazing. There's so many. Because here I see like little red ones, teeny, tiny little microscopic black ones. I see small black ones. I see the big old black ones, big old red ones. I see different ones with like weird long legs. I see all kinds of different little ones. But so there's apparently 13,000 kinds. I went down a big rabbit hole here because I think, okay, so human-wise, what's the species of humans compared like in relation to species of ants? Like is races, like different races consider different species the same way different types of ants would be considered different species of ants? Which maybe is completely ignorant and stupid, but turns out no. Homo sapiens is one species of human, right? And so all the races are the same. But the other species of humans, which are past ancestors, which apparently are Denisovans and Neanderthals and then it goes back further to like Homo erectus and Homo, some other homos. There's all these different homos. Anyways, especially nowadays. But no, I'm just kidding. But I hate myself. Okay. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So here's the weird thing. This is what it says is that, so I'm like, okay, well, what defines the difference of a species? Because could humans now have interbreeded with Denisovans and Neanderthals? And turns out we did, right? And the only race of humans that don't have Neanderthal or Denisovan DNA are Africans. They're like the pure Homo sapien race. And then so Homo sapiens, Africans are the only ones that aren't mixed with Denisovan or Neanderthal. So you got like Europeans and Asians and a bunch of other races, right? They're all mixed with like our last species. But then the point that I'm saying, that I wonder is, I'm like, okay, well, I thought species can't interbreed. So that's what makes a species a species. So what the hell? So then I go, can species interbreed? And it says that some can if they're close enough relatives, right? So it's like Neanderthal. What is that? What do you mean? Anyways, what I'm saying is some species of ants have been bred together like in a lab, right? And they're viable, but apparently things like a lion and a tiger, you have to be able to produce viable offspring usually. So a lion and a tiger, they can breed and have a baby, but it can't reproduce. Same thing with like a horse and a donkey, right? They have a mule, it can't reproduce. So that's usually the line. But it's just really this interesting rabbit hole where I'm like, okay, so like at what point in the human line or the Homo line could we not reproduce with our last common ancestor? Because apparently we could with Neanderthals and Denisovans, right? So it's like, how do you, and then you start looking into all these freaking different classes, right? Because, you have like genus and phylus and class and like all these different ways they categorize animals and species and everything. It's just freaking crazy. It's just, yeah. So it's just, yeah, I know it's so fun. Dude, you missed my homo joke earlier. It was hilarious. But I was like, there's all these different homos as you go back into the past. And I'm like, especially these days though. But anyways, yeah, so it's this crazy thing. And I could go down that rabbit hole all day. And I just go down it. So that's what it is. But really interesting. It's so, man, biology is just amazing. And DNA and stuff. It's like how it works, But anyways, what else I got here? What I'm watching. Here we go. Speaking of evolution, freaking Tucker Carlson versus Brett Weinstein. And very interesting. I don't like Tucker. I'm not going to lie. I think he's brave, but I've just seen some things of him where I don't feel he's honest. I feel like he is audience capture, and I feel like he's disingenuous to a certain degree. I don't know. It's just my interpretation. I don't want to judge him too harshly, but I do like Brett. And this debate is really interesting. I think Brett handles it fabulously. Like, he really does a good job here. And it's just interesting to hear these minds clash because, in my opinion, Brett is much smarter. But not saying he's right, but I don't know. Tucker does this thing where he says things in a way that make it seem like if you don't agree, you're an idiot. So he'll say something like, well, to me, it's just obvious that da-da-da-da, and ha ha ha, and laugh. So it's like, if you don't think it's obvious, then you're dumb. Like, that's what he says shit like that. So it's like, it makes you I don't know, it makes it hard to disagree with it. And it just doesn't seem like good faith to me. It seems like, dude, you're pushing, you're using shame or social pressure where to make your point instead of facts and good logic, right? That's in it. So it's I don't know, it's a little frustrating. But anyways, don't want to be a hater. It was a good interview. Yeah, so I finished Deuteronomy. I finished the Torah, right? So it's the interesting thing is that the whole Torah is all third person, right? It's like a story being told until it gets to Deuteronomy, and then it's from the horse's mouth, Moses. So Moses is basically telling the story in Deuteronomy. I can't say it. I don't know. Deuteronomy. Anyways, very interesting though. And man, there's so much stuff in there that I didn't freaking think about, And I actually want to make this note right now because so I don't forget, which is the thing about the divorce, that it's sanctioned in the Torah. You can get divorced, and which was interesting. And oh shit, the Torah. You can get divorced. And then what was the other thing I was saying? I don't know. There's a lot of just things in there that I didn't realize. Like it's like they leave it out of VeggieTales, It's like, so anyways, what I'm listening to, this is a nice instrumental song, just very good vibe, happy, good vibe. That's why I saved it. And then, okay, let's hit the photo dump. I'm going to actually do it through here so you can get a better picture. View from the garden, big clouds. That's my banner for this post. This is my meal. So I eat these, and then I eat some chia pudding and some fruits. And I eat this. This is all I eat per day, and drink one of these full milks. Dude, look at this meme. This meme is so good. How I look at the flight attendant during snack time so they know I'm awake and would like a cookie. Oh, it's so funny. It just hits the nail on the head. Like, I don't know if anyone else relates to this. It's to me, just so it hits the nail right on the head. This is Roger looking at himself in the mirror, wondering who he is and what is life. This is me, selfie, out in the jungle. And I don't know who I am. This is a foggy day out in the jungle. Very pretty, very nice. The lightning again. This is me and my dad. Me and Stu, baby. This is probably Christmas or my birthday. And that's the old man. Love you, Stu. Dude, Josh, if you're still on here, I was talking to Rob this morning because Rob and I are reading the Bible together. So he's reading like the whole Bible cover to cover with me. But anyways, we got talking about some conspiracy theory shit. Which I know me and you were talking about, which, is fun. But he sent me this, which this is crazy. This is the news media ownership, right? So all this news networks are owned by this company, right? And like all these other ones are owned by this company. And it just shows like the parent companies and people that own, like it all boils down to probably like, you're looking at 10 or 15 maybe. And that probably boils down even more. So it's really interesting to look at this, but we were just talking about how it's, hard to frickin', trust the news and whatever. And then, here, I'll show this one other picture from my photo dump, which is this beautiful sunset, baby. Oh, it's so nice. Such a vibe. And then I think it was just these. Yeah, so you got Roger. And then you got Peking Roger. It's so sketchy. Anyways. The one for food is smaller and bigger companies. Yeah, the food. I've seen the food one too. It's insane. But, yeah. I don't know what to think, man. Or it's not I don't know what to think. I don't know what to do. It's hard. It's just, I feel like the age of knowing what's real is gone. It's just, the new Google video AI came out and it's just steps ahead of anything else we've seen. And it creates like iPhone accurate footage that just looks exactly like an interview on the street or like a streamer gaming. Like it'll make Minecraft streamer gaming videos that's not real. And it just looks like a dude playing Minecraft on YouTube. So I just think the days of knowing what's true and what's not is over. So I should read Grape of the Mind. I will have to. Is that, I'll Google it. But maybe I won't Google it. I'll look it up on Kindle. Yeah, so it's getting weird out here. But anyways, that's my update for this week. I think that's it. Good to see you, Josh. I've been seeing your live streams, bro, and good job. Keep it up. I think it's cool what you're doing when you'll just leave it while they're reading or while they're, whatever they're doing, playing music, hanging out. Keep trying new things. Keep, get the kids involved and keep trying different ways to do it. But I think the updates are sick. Camera looks good. Keep running it. Keep ripping it. And maybe I'll see you on the next one. And I'll see everyone else on the next one. I think I might live stream my music Sabbath. So tomorrow it's going to be my music Sabbath. And I might just live stream the whole day. I don't know if that will count. But Yeah, dude. Also, Josh, the thumbnail's looking good. At least the last one I saw you post. I don't know if you're just clipping the live streams into YouTube clips or what, or you're making separate videos. I'm not diving that deep, but the thumbnail game is pretty strong. So keep going on that. And I don't know if you know, but you can test multiple ones. So you can make like 3 thumbnails, and then it'll just run a test and just it'll set it as the one that the most people click on, which is what I do. And then through that, you kind of learn kind of how to design the best thumbnails for your audience. But that's that. Ta-na-na-na, yeah. Okay, see you next week. Peace. Oh, and also if you want to sign up for my emails, it's in the description, so you can get these updates and everything each week, free 99 in the description. Yeah, too many. I feel it. No worries. Just keep doing your thing, dude. You'll find your flow. But yeah, peace out. Bye.